Do you know what proper wine etiquette is when drinking wine at home, especially if you have guests over? Well, if not, this video's for you.
Stick around because we're going over the top 8 tips for proper wine etiquette when drinking wine at home. I'm Olivia.
And I'm Ken.
And we're Wine Therapy.
So today's video, we're talking all about wine etiquette at home. We're going to go over 8 quick and easy tips so the next time you have guests over for wine, you can look extra classy.
So let's get into it. Tip number 1, be prepared. You want to know what type of food you're going to be serving, whether that be a cheese board or a fancy steak dinner. And you also want to know what type of wine your guests typically enjoy. So
just like Olivia was saying, first and foremost, you want to consider what types of food are you going to be serving to your guests. Are you going to be giving them a fancy cheese board? If so, you want to go with a wine that matches the cheeses that you have to offer. Or if you're going for a more formal dinner, you're going to want to go with a wine that matches the main entree.
Then you want to know what type of complexity of wine you want to serve. So if you have more wine novice drinkers, you want to serve a sweeter wine or a less complex wine.
However, if the friends that you're having over are more wine experts, you're going to want to go with a wine that's more complex and interesting so that they can enjoy the wine to its fullest.
Tip number 2. You want to try not to make a loud pop when you're opening up a bottle of wine.
So just like Olivia said, you want to be kind of a wine ninja when you're opening up bottles of wine. It's just a lot more classy to do it that way. So when you're opening up a bottle of wine, try and take the cork out really slowly. That way it avoids making any noise. You don't want to just, again, yank the cork out so it makes a huge pop throughout the room. That's not the right way to do it. Tip number 3. When you're pouring a glass of wine for one of your guests, you're going to want to hold the bottle by its base. And also, make sure to pour the wine out slowly.
You want to pour the wine out slowly so that it allows the wine to aerate enough. And you don't want to hold it by the neck because it doesn't come off as very classy. Also, a lot of people like to hold the bottle with 2 hands, and that doesn't come off as very classy either. So try to hold it with one hand by the base.
That's the way sommeliers do it, and that's the way that works best.
Tip number 4. You want to only fill your wine glass about half full. Now, if you're Ken's dad, he likes to fill his wine glass up to the very top.
However, if you have guests over, you probably don't want to do that. You want to leave enough room in the glass so that the guests can smell their wine properly. Now, if you're having guests over and you're looking for the proper type of glass to use for the wine that you're serving, make sure to check out our video up above. We made a previous video all about the best wine glasses. Tip number 5.
But wait! Before we move on, if you like what you see, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It really helps us out to get content to you every week.
And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're notified every time we upload a new video.
So tip number 5, you want to keep your wine level equivalent to that of your guests. So A, you want to pour the same amount of wine in each wine glass so everyone gets the same amount. But B, you also want to make sure that you're drinking at the same pace as your guests. You don't want to be on your 3rd glass of wine and your guests are sipping their 1st glass of wine. It doesn't come off as very classy when you're the most drunk at the party.
And kind of going off of Olivia's 5th tip, we'll go with tip number 6, which is always offer your guests a 2nd glass before you pour yourself a 2nd glass. That's an easy way to make sure that you're staying on pace with your guests and you're not out drinking them.
Tip number 7. You want to hold the wine glass by the stem. When you hold it by the bowl, it can warm up the wine, which can cause the wine to change its taste and flavors. So it's more accepted to hold the wine glass by the stem, and it looks classier anyway.
It's really easy to pick out somebody holding their wine glass by the bowl and tell that they're clearly a wine novice. If you want more tips and tricks on beginner wine mistakes, check out our previous video up above. And last but not least, tip number 8. When you're toasting and clinking your wine glasses together, try to hit each other's wine glasses with the bowl, so the wider part of the glass. The reason for this is it's less likely that you're going to break the wine glass. Especially if you're using crystal glasses, you don't want to hit it by the brim. Super easy to break the glasses, especially after you've had a couple of glasses of wine. So make sure you hit together by the bowl.
And those are your 8 tips for proper wine etiquette at home. Did we miss any tips? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you like what you see. It helps us get content to you every week. We'll see you in our next video.
Cheers.